Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Formula 1 news, and with the major announcement of the Las Vegas Grand Prix coming into action again here from 2023, the drivers certainly have had their mixed reactions. The fans though, not so convinced that this is actually a good idea. Very much enjoying your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Well over 500 now, just love to see it. First of all, the Australian Grand Prix coming up of course in a couple of weeks time. Vettel fit and ready to go once again for the race. Great to see, of course, Hulkenberg subbed in both for Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. Vettel, we thought he'd be back in business, but it's good that he is. Whether the car will be good enough to get any points, that of course does remain to be seen. But of course, let's talk about Las Vegas, right? Because it came out overnight really that F1 was planning to announce this. We've heard this for quite some time now. But of course, what the track was going to look like, that was a major question. Of course, the drivers have known for quite some time at this point. But yeah, a 50-lap race, a Saturday night race as well. Very interesting. The first Saturday night race in a very long time indeed. Prime time, effectively, for West Coast US. Not so good for East Coast. For us in the UK and Europe, it's going to be a pretty early morning. But yeah, not too bad. But very interesting, right, doing it on a Saturday evening for the first time in pretty much 40 years or so. We'll have a look at that here in a second. This is the track. 3.8 mile track. Like, it's honestly a pretty incredible track, to be honest, just looking at the thing, especially the back straight. The pit straight is immense. It's honestly unbelievable. So pretty much around the heart of Las Vegas. A really cool location. I think it's going to be incredible, like an incredible spectacle. But whether there's actually good racing, whether it's actually because it's a nice city, like there's many reasons why they maybe shouldn't go there, but of course there's one big reason why everyone might want to go there, which is the money that is involved. And of course I'm sure the drivers are going to have a good time here as well. Max Verstappen says that he's kind of, well, hopefully they don't have a double header in that they have 2 weeks off before or after, so they can have a good time in the casinos, all this type of stuff. So it was confirmed this morning that yeah, for 2023 and beyond, I believe initially a 3-year deal, but the plan is to go much longer than that. We'll have to look at the track here in a second, as Chris Medlin actually says. Domenicali says the intention is to stay for a lot longer than that. This is Vegas, he says. And I believe even someone from Las Vegas themselves said that they reckon this will be the flagship F1 kind of a track in a few years' time, or the flagship F1 event. Whether that's the case, that might be optimistic thinking on his part. But like, look at this track, right? So here we go. There's, I guess there's technically, what, 12, 14 corners they're going for here. It's a pretty interesting circuit. The thing that stands out, first of all, obviously, is all the kind of, well, the sights to see along the main strip. This is literally along the main strip, which is quite incredible. Like, look, it's a cool idea. Whether this actually creates good racing, I don't know, because first thing I thought was, like, given all the DRS discussions in the last few days, they're going to have to seriously think about how DRS works along this back straight or where the activation zones are. Just because this straight, I believe, is about 2 kilometers long. From turn 9 all the way down to turn 11. This main, like, technically this is a turn here at turn 10, but it's effectively just one massive long main straight. Like, this is going to be flat out all the way down here, flat out down this straight after turn, I guess, 12, 13, flat out down the back straight as well. So an absolutely absurd looking track, to be honest, how long this is. But, and yeah, they're going to certainly have to think about where DRS is, right? Because, I mean, even the slipstream here could be pretty strong. Like, yeah, it's honestly pretty absurd to think about what they're going to have to do to this track. Of course, this is one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is just this overhead, which I think kind of makes more sense. So here we go. 2023 first Grand Prix, 50 laps in at 6.1 kilometer circuit. This back straight alone is 1.4 miles, 1.92-ish kilometers, all the way from turn 9 to turn 11. So it's absolutely immense. Like, all the way down here into this kind of first chicane is going to be out of control. Turns 11, 12, and 13, and then all the way down to 14. I wonder what they'll do with DRS, right? The start point is actually all the way down here. So, like, I mean, this kind of going into turn 1, it means that you're not going down this straight, which would be pretty ridiculous. So the pits are actually over here. This is turn 1. Like, you know, I honestly kind of like how that it starts off, right? There's a pretty technical first section. This straight initially right here, then into this kind of strange, really long corner at turn 6. You don't see anything like this all that often. Could work out, though. Then, of course, sector 2 is relatively quick, and then sector 3 basically just on the main straight the entire way down. So, look, it might not be the greatest track in the world. It might be better than some people think it's going to be. Like, I'm not holding out all that much hope, to be honest, that it's going to create for some great racing, but it is certainly an interesting one. Of course, look, the track isn't really intended to be fantastic. It's intended to show off the sights of Vegas, right? And like, basically just show off all the good stuff. Caesar's Palace. It's going to go past the kind of Eiffel Tower and all the other things that there are to see, the fountains, all this type of stuff. So, of course, that's the plan. I'm sure it's going to look great. Whether it actually, you know, whether it drives great is another question, especially given the fact that Las Vegas and these are kind of like Middle Eastern tracks, right, are probably going to be sticking around for many years, whereas the likes of, you know, Spa has even been called into question whether that's going to be there in the future. There's like a tug of war right now between where the money is and where kind of the classic Formula 1 tracks actually are. It's a bit of concern about that. This just to look as well, a 7-minute drive right now it is from one end of this back straight to the other, like 1.9 kilometers all the way from here to here. So that's pretty ridiculous, to be perfectly honest. This also just to compare, because they raced previously in Las Vegas back in, I believe it was like 81, 82. And this was a track in basically the back garden or the car park of Caesar's Palace that looked like this. So the difference between this track back in like the 80s compared to what we have now is just ridiculous. I mean, this track as well looks pathetic, to be honest. It's like an E shape. But I mean, I don't know. This one almost looks like a pig. Do you see that, guys? Like if you turn that on its side, this is the pig's like snout. These are its front legs. These are its back legs. This is its back. It's definitely a pig on its side. This is the type of high-level analytical commentary that you come to this channel for. But these are some images of what it might look like, right? So just kind of to show the strip and Caesar's Palace here on the right-hand side. The car's just barreling down the straights. Obviously, these are all kind of mock-ups and renders. It looks really cool. Whether it runs cool, that's another big question mark. But look, it's another street track. Hopefully, the safety is there and it's going to be okay because these cars are going to be going insanely fast, especially down that back straight. I believe 212 plus miles an hour is what they're expecting. Of course, the Saturday race is a big part of this. The last time there was one of them, 1985 South Africa, Nigel Mansell wins. And yeah, 2023 Las Vegas is going to be the first one since then. There have been races on other days before, like a 986 all time up until the 2022 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, as F1 Stats Guru points out right here. But yes, another Saturday race coming up relatively soon. The timing, apparently 10 p.m. Pacific time it starts, so that's certainly prime time over there. First time in a very long time, 1 a.m. Eastern. That's tough for the American fans on the East Coast. Then GMT at 6 a.m, so it's going to finish at like 8 a.m. or something here, which is going to be a bit interesting. European time, Dubai, etc., etc. onwards. So pretty much decent for the rest of the world, apart from those on the East Coast. Of course, look, lots of reaction to this from the fans, right, but also from the drivers themselves. Of course, they found out about this quite some time ago. Mercedes seemed pretty happy about it, as did, well, Haas, for example, and welcome to the fabulous Haas Vegas, Nevada. Thought this is pretty good, to be honest. But yeah, the drivers have been responding. They've been given their opinions. Like, yeah, many different mixed opinions on this, really, because, of course, I guess it's expected. But at the same time, another example, right? Just a couple of weekends, or just a weekend, I suppose, after Saudi Arabia, where all the talk was, wow, okay, it's money over morals. Like, you know, once again, there's another announcement, which you could argue is exactly the same thing. It's not precisely a massive surprise, but the drivers seem very excited about this, right? Of course, the racing in Las Vegas, I'm sure it's going to be very fun for them. And yeah, it's a great venue. But yeah, for the fans, it might be a slightly different environment, right? I think maybe some of the reaction has been more negative than it should have been. Like this, for example, was a pretty cool screenshot of what this back straight will look like. But yeah, Alonso says we're going to Vegas. And just some reaction here I thought I'd share from the drivers. I might have to kind of edit the video just so it doesn't get copyrighted, but the audio should be okay. And Daniel Riccardo kind of was joking, saying, look, I was going to retire. I'm not going to anymore.
Are we going to race there? No.
That's epic.
It's going to be a pretty hardcore event.
No way! We went there?
We're gonna race there.
No way! Has it been confirmed? Yeah. No way! Is that how you're telling it to me? No way! I cannot believe it.
Is this true?
Yeah.
It's happening?
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
No. Really?
Yeah. It will be a night race on the strip. So on the
Oh wow!
of Vegas.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's gonna be awesome. Are we gonna take that main?
Yeah, down the main strip.
No.
Yeah, at night, yeah.
That's gonna be insane.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Probably more fun for the team members and the audience than the drivers themselves.
Hopefully we can all meet at the casino.
I'm sure that some drivers will spend some money in the casinos and hopefully try and gain it back on Sunday.
Red and black, baby. All my earnings will be going on number 4.
That's crazy. I think we'll find a few drivers in the casinos then. Me being one of them.
Yeah, that's one place I would like to go. It's very nice.
A lot of parties. I think it'll be nice.
It's going to be a party, isn't it?
It's a fantastic venue for Formula 1, you know, people having a lot of fun.
I think a few drivers might not rock up for the race itself.
Knowing that it's a real party city, it's difficult for a racing driver to how I'm going to focus that weekend. There's going to be so much going on.
I've been once to Vegas. When I left, I said never again, but I'm coming back. Might need to try and behave better than I did last time.
Let's not do back-to-back for this one. Let's give it like 2 weeks break before and after.
Nice, need a little detox week.
If you call it detox, yeah.
I cannot imagine what it's going to be like. It's just going to be absolutely madness. Let's go.
That's going to be unbelievable.
There it is!
It's going to be fun.
I was going to retire.
I will not know more.
So there were some comments, I think, about this from kind of the fans' perspective at the press conference where, you know, as Hamza says in reply, while we're racing in Vegas, the fans will love it. No. The city's beautiful. No. The track is good. No. $500 million though. Like, because, well, he reckons that about $500 million with 170,000 visitors, that's kind of what Vegas get out of this, right? Like, they get a lot more in addition to just the race weekend being on. Like, you know, everyone going into the casinos and stuff. It's going to be massive for them. Makes sense why a deal like this would work. But, I mean, still, for the fans, that's the question mark. A few things here just as we finish out the video, given this whole discussion really about Saudi Arabia. I thought it was quite interesting that the F1 CEO comes on and says it's actually the sport's duty to keep racing there, given the kind of cultural implications that F1 believe they're having in terms of kind of turning around Saudi Arabia or helping them in the right direction somehow. So, like, yeah, after all the talk about, okay, Saudi Arabia, like, they're going to have to guarantee the drivers 100% safety going forwards, and the drivers were like, look, we want to have a little bit more say in where we go. Like, F1's still saying, look, it's our duty to race there. We're going to go back. Money talks at the end of the day. Also, this just to mention from ESPN, because it seems like Audi and Porsche, there's been some talk about partnerships that they might have. So the owner, that being Volkswagen, has apparently approved or given the green light to those two brands entering Formula One. So the rumor has it that Audi are going to partner up with McLaren, I believe, and I think Porsche want to have some sort of relationship with Red Bull, but it might take a while for that to occur. But yeah, Audi McLaren, it might be happening in the near future. I believe there was some rumors about this last year that eventually kind of fell through and didn't go anywhere, but that might be on the horizon. It was only 3 weeks ago, would you believe, that Kevin Magnussen was announced to actually be joining Mick Schumacher in the 2022 driver lineup. An awful lot has changed since then. I just wanted to finish out with this from Driven by Data. I thought it was really cool, looking at kind of the Ferrari onboard, the F175, the dash layout right that the drivers have in front of them. So this is what it looks like in front of them. These are all the things that they get to see. So car velocity, engine RPM, thought it was, you know, the brake bias, of course, the lap time delta to the reference lap, I thought was pretty interesting. Like this at the bottom as well, the bar indicator showing the battery charge. So thought this was a really cool graphic. Good for those newer to the sport and more OGs alike. And yeah, push mode and all this type of stuff as well. But very much enjoyed your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button. Tell us YouTube gods, this is a good video. Others like you should see it as well. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.